Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, August 5th, 2013. In Jamaica, domestic violence a major concern in St. Mary. In Guyana, prosecution to appeal ruling in mass murder case. Also in Jamaica, a woman loses leg, 4 others sustain injuries after car crashes into bus stop. And also in Guyana, ex-soldier slits wife's throat, then drinks poison. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with 0 out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with 0 out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
The Haverman say it's all about the food. August the 10th. Foreigners welcome to the land of oil dung. Beers and strong rum, girls hot and can done.
Tell them it's how we dead. Tell them it's how we dead. Tell them it's how we dead. Master, we all and dead. Tell them it's how we dead. Tell them it's how we dead. Tell them it's how we dead. They dead. When I drink it, I'm ringing iron. So we dead. I'm beating public.
It's all about the food. Oil Dung Fest, August 10th, Lampama, and in the place.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin, and this segment is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. Residents of St. Mary and nearby parishes have been expressing alarm at the number of domestic-related murders that have been taking place in the parish. Since the start of the year, approximately 60% of murders in the parish are said to be linked to domestic violence, police statistics show. The struggle continues as the police are now dealing with another case of murder resulting from domestic violence. This comes from after a woman who was chopped in the head, allegedly by her husband more than a month ago, succumbed to the injuries recently. A family of businesswoman Marsha Morrison Facey, 35, is now trying to come to terms with the fact that she will not be revived after being in the hospital for weeks. In custody is Facey's 32-year-old husband, Marlon, a chef who worked on one of the cruise lines that serve Jamaica. Allegations are that on June 21st, an argument developed between the couple at their Orica Besa home when the woman was chopped several times in the head. She was in a coma for weeks following the incident. Facey, who fled the scene, later turned himself over to police and was charged with attempted murder. But when Facey, who initially showed signs of improvement, died on July 22nd, the charges were changed to murder. It is said that the two have only been married for a year and that they have a 5-year-old child together. Morrison Facey had earlier converted to Muslim through the marriage to Facey, who practices the Islam religion. Facey, who is represented by attorney-at-law Dave Marsh, was remanded when he last appeared in court after the charges against him were changed to murder, reportedly putting a premature end to a bail application which started in a previous court date while the charges were still attempted murder. He will reappear before the St. Mary Resident Magistrate Court on September 2nd. In Guyana, following a ruling handed down on Friday in which 2 men accused of killing 11 people were acquitted, the prosecution says it intends to appeal the ruling. Anthony Hiles, 24, and Mark Williams, 28, were freed of charges stemming from the 2008 massacre that occurred in the farming village of Lusagan. They were accused of using high-powered rifles and shotguns to kill 11 people, including children, as they slept. According to reports, the massacre was revenge for the disappearance of gang leader Rondell Feynman Rowland's girlfriend. The two defendants said they acted as lookouts during the killings but did not actively participate. A few months later, Rowlands was killed by soldiers. The authorities said that the massacre was part of a series of murders which appeared to have started with the murder of prison officer Troy Williams during the MASH day prison break on February 23, 2003. Also in Jamaica, a 56-year-old woman is without a leg, while 4 others, including 2 children, are nursing injuries after they were hit by a motor car yesterday morning along the Montpelier Main Road near Montego Bay, St. James. The incident took place about 7:30 yesterday morning when the driver of a Toyota Corolla motor car hit a woman as she stood on the side of the road with her 3-month-old baby. The driver then reportedly lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a bus stop, injuring the other pedestrians in the process. The vehicle subsequently crashed into a shop, pinning a woman beneath it. She was taken to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where she underwent emergency surgery to remove a severely injured leg. The woman and her 3-month-old baby were also taken to the hospital, while a 14-year-old boy and 7-year-old girl are nursing injuries. The identities of the victims of the crash have not yet been released. The driver of the motor vehicle has been taken into custody. Also in Guyana is the small farming community of Jonestown, Maheka, East Coast Demerara, is still coming to grips with the brutal murder of a 26-year-old woman whose husband later ingested poison to save himself from having to answer to man for her death. Relatives and neighbors made the gruesome discovery of the semi-nude body of 26-year-old Vanessa Richmond James with her hands and feet bound and her throat slit around 6 a.m. This was minutes after her husband Ryan James stumbled over to a neighbor seeking help after ingesting the poison. Police are convinced that the ex-soldier killed his wife during a heated domestic spat hours after they had left a KK that took place in the community the previous night. A press statement from the police force headquarters said that at about 600 hours on Saturday, the body of Vanessa Richmond James of 7th Street, Jonestown, was found in a home with multiple stab wounds. Her reputed husband, Ryan James, 30 years, who is the suspect in her death, is believed to have consumed poison and later succumbed. Minutes after the discovery, scores of residents from the predominantly small-scale farming community flocked to the location, with many expressing shock that the lives of the young couple, who had been living together for about 5 years, had come to such a tragic end. Neighbors believe that the act was premeditated, since the husband had taken their 2-year-old son to his fraternal grandmother's home the night before the tragedy. The dead woman's father, Rudolph Richmond, recalled that he was at the Maheka market where he had taken produce from his cash crop farm to sell when he received the devastating message that his daughter had been killed. He also learned that his son-in-law was taken to the hospital after ingesting some poison. He advised that no one touch her body until the police arrived. It was only when the police removed the pillow and blanket from his daughter's face that Richmond realized that her throat had been slit. He subsequently learned that she had been struck a blow on her head with a hammer, which was recovered by investigators with samples of hair on it. The woman's father, who lives a stone's throw from where the couple resided, said that there was no indication that James and his wife were not having any problem that could have led to such an outcome. The dead man's brother related that James took his son to their house on Friday night, telling them that he was going to the popular pre-marriage function. The brother said that although James claimed that everything was all right, he had an uneasy feeling that there was trouble brewing. His unease was confirmed yesterday when he received a call from his brother's neighbor, telling him that James had drank poison. He rushed over to the neighbor's house and found his brother on the landing, frothing from his mouth. A neighbor, Shevelyn Leach, told reporters that she was asleep when James came calling desperately at her front door. From all indications, the couple had gotten up early yesterday morning and was planning to go to the market with their produce from their kitchen garden, since freshly reaped callaloo and other greens were left on a table in their yard. Apart from the hammer with hair samples, police recovered remnants of the poison that James drank. Yesterday's murder-suicide comes 3 days after a man hacked his 2 children to death and critically wounded his wife. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
That's 'cause I'm chillin' on Total Caribbean Network. This your boy Wyclef Jean, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.